I share greetings and goodwill once again to you all, my fellow natural native earthly humans the world over. Yes, by now you don't know that this is yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher. And welcome to part 5, the continuation of my talks titled, Can Africa Be Set Free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? Now, if you haven't yet watched or listened to part 1 through to part 4, I ask that you please do so before going forward with this part 4 or with this part 5, or that you do so at your earliest convenience. If you haven't done so yet, please do so at your earliest convenience or as soon as possible. Now, with all that is going on, the rapid progress and developments that are being made in Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, some of which have never been seen and are not being seen elsewhere in or on the continent of Alkebulan, and the countless malicious and continued attempt on this young man or this young and resolute leader's life by his and the people of Burkina Faso's, the land of upright people's adversaries, and by extension our adversaries. The debate that is being reignited online and all across the globe, and the questions that are again being asked by many, and that the questions that I would like to address, share some of my perspectives, and hopefully answer in this and the following talks are as follows. Number 1, can Africa be set free? And to be more deliberate and precise, can Alkebulan be set free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? Can the continent of Africa and all African peoples, home and abroad, be set free and completely free from the clutches of the evil ones, the clutches of the diabolic ones? Can it be completely set free from all forms of alien invasion, domination, corruption, manipulation, mental, spiritual, and physical colonization, subjugation? Can it be set free from all the humiliation, exploitation, slavery, and oppression? You name it or you name them. Simply put, can Africa and all African people the world over be literally and spiritually set free from all the curses, the bad omen, the demons and demonic forces of evil that have been brought upon us by our despicable and malevolent enemies? Now, if the answer to those questions is no, no meaning Africa the motherland and her people cannot be set free, that it is hopeless, and if no is indeed correct, if that is indeed correct, then I must regretfully inform you that we all as Africans, or we all as African people and the descendants thereof, the world over, are forever doomed. And that is if the answer is no. And I must also regretfully inform you, all my listeners, that the evidence has shown and is hereby showing that most people, especially people from other races, people from other ethnic groups and cultures, truly and inherently believe at their core and in the recesses of their subconscious mind that we cannot be free, and that we African, we the highly enriched melanin, highly enriched carbon-skinned people are inferior and thus forever doomed to the status of inferiority. Consequently, and in their gross ignorance, arrogance, and stupidity amplified by their inherent malevolence directed at us, they believe that they can look down on us. Some even have the audacity to scorn us. Some not only pretend to pity us, but they despise us and our highly enriched melanin, highly enriched carbon skin complexion. Thus they label us black. As a consequence, guess what they do? They label us black. Black, a word, an adjective in the English language, also known as the oppressor, the colonizers, the deceivers language, and their language family tree that historically and to this day means and is defined as evil, worthless, impure, a disgrace, the opposite of white, and nothing good. You name it. And just for the record, and to set it straight, please let me remind you all or inform all those to whom it may concern that our most honorable African ancestors did not name, they did not label, list, or call themselves black or any other words that have similar meanings and definitions as depicted and described in the English language and their dictionaries and the Caucasoid race of people's language family tree. They, meaning our most honorable African ancestors, knew, they understood, and overstood the spiritual significance, the importance, and the power of names. They knew, understood, and overstood the metaphysical science, the occult and the esoteric knowledge, art and science of words, sounds, energy, frequency, vibrations. And thus they could not, would not, and did not label or call themselves black, as mentioned before, because they knew and knew that they knew that to do so would be to cast and broadcast the spells and the curses of lack and blackness that are enveloped in the word upon themselves and also upon their offspring. Just ask yourself these two questions, my listeners. Question number one: who in their right mind, or what human of sound mind and activated common sense that would knowingly, intellectually, or intelligently, thoughtfully, willfully, and intentionally called, list, or name him or herself a word that literally means and is defined as the opposite of white? Defined as without light, without intellect, ignorant, stupid, dismal, threatening, sullen, without moral goodness, evil, disgrace, indicating disgrace, marked for conduct, grim or grimly, or grimmy, just to name a few. Question number two: who in their right mind, or what human of sound mind and activated common sense that would knowingly, intelligently, thoughtfully, willfully, and intentionally boast or say that they are black and they are proud being black? Now, from my perspective, from the Mystic Philosopher's perspective, no one in their right mind would knowingly do that. That's my perspective. Moreover, and for your information, or just to remind you of this fact, that the word black, is English or British. And Inasmuch as a lot of our African people are trying and are laying claim on it or to it, some are even trying to copyright it and even own it. Etymologically, it is not African. It's not ours. The evidence has shown and proved that it is an English word or a British word, meaning it belongs to the English, aka the British people, and their language, and also their Caucasoid language family tree. And inasmuch as a lot of our African and highly enriched melanin and highly enriched carbon skin people think, boast, behave, and do believe in their mind that they are English or that they are British, the fact is our source and our roots, our most honorable African ancestors were not and are not English or British. And nor did they or do they belong to the Caucasoid or the Caucasian family tree. In reality, what these English or British and other wannabes are, and the closest that they can and will ever get to be English or British, are to be British citizens or British subjects. And to the best of my current knowledge, any English or any British word that has the prefix sub attached to it means that you are under the root word or under the root. You are below. We may also agree that above is higher than below and below is less than above. Example, the word submarine means under marine. Sub, under, marine. Marine, water, mean water. What marine is water. Submarine means under water. The word subject, sub means under. And the root word ject, J-E-C-T, means to throw. Therefore, subject means to throw under. Thus, British subjects mean you are under British or under English. That is just common sense. But one can or one will only understand, understand and overstand if common sense is activated. Everyone have common sense, but not all common sense are activated. On the contrary, one won't know these facts. If the common sense is activated, you won't know these facts. But this is also a subject that by itself, and one that I have spoken on and dealt with over the years, and I have many talks and lectures and whatever on it, and songs, etc., all over the place, all over the internet. And quite sadly, the evidence will also show and prove that a lot of, if not most of, our own African people, aka melanin/carbon skin people, especially those among us that have been religiously and politically educated, trained, indoctrinated, and are strategically positioned by their masters and our adversaries in the system's political and economical positions of power and authority, have believed and have accepted this pronouncement that Africans home and abroad cannot be set free or will never be free. Consequently, they have conditioned themselves to exist, serve, and live in bondage and as subjects to our oppressors, to our adversaries. They have, without conscience, dignity, and our natural native earthly human decency, accept the ignoble and subjected status of being proud servants, proud subjects, and proud citizens, eating the crumbs from the table of their masters and our oppressors. These are those among us that are the traitors, that without hesitation or a second thought They have betrayed and slain and will betray and slay their own people in the goal of preserving the interests of their masters and puppet handlers. These are those among us that are hopeless and just can't be redeemed, or can't be rescued. They can't be rescued. These are they, the traitors among us that I, the Mystic Philosopher, will sometimes earnestly pray to our source and to the spirits of our most honorable ancestors, and ask that they call them home suddenly and prematurely to the spiritual fold and behind the door, so that they may learn the errors of their ways, repent of their sins, their transgression, and maybe return them to this plane and to this planet through the process commonly called reincarnation. Now, please join me in part 6 for the continuation of Can Africa Be Set Free? Can Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, be set free? In the meantime and between time, here is willing that you be more and much, much more, and definitely not be less. Don't be less, aka bless, or let no one be less you, or pronounce be lessing upon you. Be more, for I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.